Not Lagavulin, not Lagavulin, Lagavulin. I bought a hoodie. I want to introduce you guys to the sweetest person in the world. I'm drawing a blank on her name. She let me record the entire tour. My only regret is that I didn't give her a lav mic.
Just as well someone gave me the correct key, because I've got the wrong one as well. I'd have been taking you into the paint store. Okay, so welcome to Lagavulin, guys. This is the kiln passage. Now, this is one of the older parts of the distillery, as you can see. Now, this hasn't been used since 1973, because that is when the maltings in Port Ellen went into production. Now, it's that very attractive grey building as you go in, right? It might be ugly, but it does a very good job. And it produces all the malt for ourselves, Kalila and Port Ellen Distillery. Any extra it's got left, and that's not a lot these days, it sells to other distilleries. So Lagavulin was established in 1816, but I want to take you back at least 1,000 years before that. And distilling was brought to Islay by Irish monks. And they were spreading Celtic Christianity right the way up the west coast. They were, of course, centred on Iona with St Columba. He decreed that that was a dry island, but they had brought the technology with them. So yes, whisky is Irish, not Scotch in origin. So by 1816, apart from Bowmore Distillery, and this is simplified because we did have legal distilling, then we went all illegal again. It was all illicit because we would not pay any tax. Now the tax was collected by excisemen and they stayed on the mainland. They tried to put an exciseman on Islay and the good people of Islay tried to hang him. They were going to string him up. How dare he take our money? A local landowner lent him a horse and he didn't manage to escape. So they stayed on the mainland. And around Lagavulin Bay there were 10 illicit stills. And these were small things, even by my standards. So a small pot still, open fire, connected to a worm in an empty tub of water. They were small, easily dismantled, easily hidden. So when they were distilling, they didn't do it all the time, they'd put a little lookout on the hill that you're going to see in a minute out there. And if they saw some strangers coming into the bay, they'd give a shout, they dismantled the stills and they hid them. Now they hid them in Lagavulin Church, which is now an Airbnb, it's Lagavulin Hall. And they hid them in 10 coffins. And they pretended there was a funeral going on. They would go up to Arbeg, down to Lafroig, try and catch some people there. One day, they came when it was foggy, no one saw them coming. The first person they caught was a local farmer, John Johnston, and he was given the ultimatum, pay your tax or you go to jail. So he opted to pay his tax and he founded Lagavulin Distillery. It's no coincidence that the majority of historic Scottish distilleries are actually founded around that time because the government halved the tax. So it made it economically worthwhile for them to go legal. The farmers here do of course grow barley, and a lot of the ploughing you're seeing at the moment is for barley. A lot of that's contracted to Bruichladdich for their special Islay runs. But they just do not grow enough, nor is it good enough quality for Lagavulin. We need much higher yielding barley and a much higher starch content. So we get our barley from the east coast of Scotland, England, even continental Europe. Anywhere tip-top barley goes to the maltings. There it is soaked and it's kept at 22 degrees until it starts growing. Okay. Now that process used to happen in the building I picked you up in. That was the malt floors. Okay. So 50 years ago, you would have been ankle deep in warm, wet barley. Which sounds rather pleasant. And there were 2 more floors above that. You don't want it to continue growing, so you need to dry it. That's what happened down here. Come and have a look. It's in 2 parts. You've got the fire below and you've got the peat above. Okay, now this fire could have been peat, it could have been wood, and laterally it would definitely have been coal. All you need is heat. That would have dried the green malt, which would be spread in racks above there. You can pop your head in if you want. It's entirely disappointing. And now you want to
I
do
want to
it.
now, yeah, right? Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Yeah, that is entirely disappointing.
It is really. Yeah, you saw what it is.
Less disappointing.
But of course we like to add a little bit of flavour. So this would have been piled with peat. You've seen the peat there has absolutely no smell. And that peat has been in there for years and is utterly useless for malting. It's too dry. So if I set a fire, that would also go alight. And you don't want flames, okay? You want lots of smoke. So the peat that they use in the maltings is 50% water. It's really wet. That produces the maximum amount of smoke, penetrates into the husks of the barley, and makes a peated malt. You've all tasted Lagavulin. You all think, well, that's quite peaty. It's actually very mid-range. Okay, Bowmore maximum 25, Lafroig 45 to 50, 55 at Ardbeg, right up to your Bruichladdich Octomores.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you try those?
We own bottles of
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. not for everybody. It's not
It's
for
Like
everybody.
the
very-
tequila one,
yes.
it's not for me.
It's one of those you just sip and it kind of just continues for the next 2-3 minutes. That one sip kind of just
Or
carries you
2 or
through.
3 days.
Yeah.
Now, why don't we use this anymore? Well, you know that making Scotch whisky, it's a batch process. We do 4 batches a day. Each of those takes just over 5 tonnes. The amount that we use in a week would take this system more than a year. Even the ones, very famous malt floor in Bowmore, at maximum, they can only produce 30%. And floor maltings are notoriously slow in wintertime. So they can't even make 30% then. So it's just not suitable for modern distilling. But we get ours from the maltings. It does use 100% Islay peat, so close as we can get. So we've had our malt delivery today, as you can probably see by the birds. Once a day, and we actually had 2 yesterday because we don't get one this Sunday. A lorry will reverse in, that lid comes off, sleeve comes down from the back of the lorry. It goes along a conveyor belt here and into the malt bins in the tall building behind us. And as I say, we get a 24-tonne load every day to keep us going. We have the lookout up there. They would not have rung the bell because the bell is a much, much later addition, and that bell was from the church. So when it was being converted into a house, they were going to get rid of the bell. But the workers here, one thought that getting rid of a church bell was probably very unlucky, but also because of the church's connections with Lagavulin, they said, we'll have it. And they popped it up there, and it now appears on our logo.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
So you will see this logo with the lion and the thistle entwined. You will see that on very early bottles of Mackey's or some of these other really old ones from the early 19th century. That sort of logo's been around, but then they popped the wee bell on it as well.
Very cool.
Yep, so this is our water source. This comes from Solom Lochs, 5 miles into the hills. One of our neighbours also uses a loch up there. Quite obvious which ones when I told you about the history before. So you can see it comes 4 miles by gravity. We pump it the last mile. So you can see it is brown. That is the natural colour of Islay water. I had to bathe in that when I was a youngster. My mother hated it. She could never get the bath completely clean. We had a private water supply. Because it's filtered through peat, 85% of Islay is covered in peat. It doesn't add any flavour, despite what some distilleries would tell you, because it's fully filtered before we use it. And of course there's 2 types of water. Processed water will end up in your bottle of Lagavulin. cooling water will not. But they are both filtered. But it does make it very soft water. And soft water is excellent when we're fermenting. Really helps the yeast get going. As you can hear, the mill is going. Only goes 4 times a day. So this is what is going in. This is our malt. You can have a good sniff. I wouldn't eat any. It's been there a while. People have had their fingers in. But fresh malt, I think, is absolutely delicious. You could use it as a bar snack. I think it's lovely. It goes into these wooden hoppers and through the mill. And of course, it's not your first rodeo, you gentlemen. So you will know that this is the famous Porteous roller mill. The most common mill used in Scotland's distilleries. You also get a Vickers bobbie mill, which is also a roller mill. And less common, some have hammer mills. But that is quite rare, really. So this one we have had since 1964, so it's the same age as me, 60 years old. And has broken down only once. More than can be said for me. So you know the story, so utterly reliable that the company has gone out of business. If you've bought one, you never need to buy another one. So we're looking for 20% husks. That's going to give you most of your smoky flavour. 70% grits. That's going to give you an alcohol. And 10% flour, the very finest material. You need a little bit of flour, because when I add a huge amount of water to this grist, if there was no flour, they would just separate. So that holds on to the water, thickens up the mash, and helps the conversion to sugar. So they take the sample from here, it's got a big long tube in there, and then they take it upstairs, and they put it through a set of 10 sieves. Some distilleries just have the very traditional 3-sieve method, which is called a shaky box. They literally just shake it like that. But we've got the electronic one. And then that's all measured out. And if there's not exactly what they want, they can adjust the rollers here and here to get it perfect. So that's the first part in Lagavulin. And every drop comes through that mill. And people are amazed that there is no backup, nothing. So if we're ready, we'll go upstairs and we'll cook.
Cool.
Well, there's that smell.
A beautiful smell.
Yep.
How would you describe the smell?
It's like old gasoline.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So this is our mash tun. This mash is pretty well on. I can tell by the height of the mash. This is a full lighter mash tun. Okay, this is the lighter arm that turns. It is moving just very, very slowly. And a full lighter can turn, but it can also go up and down. And you need that in a big mash tun. So you've got to scrape it out, but also we add so much water that it comes up. So we take 5 tons of grist from these bins up here, and we shoot it in the central pipe, along with 19,000 litres of liquid from tank number 1. That liquid is at 64 degrees, which is the optimum temperature for amylase enzymes to turn starch into sugar. So that's what we're making in here, a sugary liquid called wort. We turn it, we let it bed in and cook. Then we add 22,000 litres of liquid from tank number, well, it's water from tank number 2. But of course that's much hotter, goes up to 84 degrees. Because it's so much hotter, we spray or sparge it on. We can't put it in the central pipe. Just like you're back at home, you get a big hot spot. So we need to raise the temperature evenly. We turn it, we let it bed in. Now we are very gentle with our mash. Some distilleries, notably Bruichladdich, they're quite aggressive mixing their mash. And that gives a cloudier wort and a nuttier flavour. So we're making flavour decisions even from here. At the bottom, they're two sieve-like floors. When they're together, nothing can come out. Pull them apart, we can get the liquid out. Now we've made 40,000 litres of wort. We don't need all of it. The first 21,000 litres goes up these copper pipes into the wash bags in the room above. The second 19,000 litres we pump back into tank number 1. Okay? Advantages, saves a huge amount of water, a lot of energy because you don't have to heat it up again, and it's ready to kickstart the next mash. All distilleries recycle some wort. We just recycle half of it. Any other questions?
I believe so.
Lovely. Right. Let's go upstairs and make some alcohol. Ready to ferment.
Okay folks, if you want to follow me, we'll head back through to our next area.
What's up?
Good morning.
I'm actually surprised how many people are in that group and how little got this time slot.
Yeah, we limit this one to 12 people because that's how many we can seat in our tasting room. That one, not that much more, maximum 16.
Yeah.
Because of it's the mill room. Because there's a lot of dust and particles in there, that is limited to 16 people, plus the guide in there. And this one, there's only half an hour in between the two. Must be quite a slow group. As you could tell the way they were.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Took a while.
So this one, brilliant. You can get the nose in there and smell this one because this is not always open. This one is filling. You can smell it.
Oh my gosh.
You could.
That is pungent. Whew. That'll wake you up.
Oh man.
Whew.
Jeez.
So as you can see, this is filling. You can see how you can smell the malt in there, can't you?
Yeah.
We put the whole of one mash, 21,000 litres, into one wash back, and they do go down to the floor underneath. Halfway through, so this one will have had the yeast added. We add 135 litres of creamed yeast. And the yeast acts on the sugars in the wort and gives you three things. Alcohol, woohoo! Carbon dioxide and heat. That is the only reason this one is open, because the carbon dioxide has not been built up yet. As you can see, we cannot open ours and they all have the double locks on them. There is a huge amount of carbon dioxide being produced in here. So they all have carbon dioxide extractors on them. The beeping is a monitor to keep us safe. Let's have a look at this one. This one I can tell is between 10 and 25 hours because I know that because that's the only time they operate the blade. Okay? I suspect this is actually closer to the 10 hours than the 25 because the colour is still quite dark. Yeah. It will go a lovely creamy colour when it's ready. And also, it hasn't foamed up a great deal. Although it can look like that towards the end of fermentation, but it will have changed colour. So, it stays in here for 55 hours. That is a short fermentation. Yep. At the end it's called wash, and it will be 8% alcohol. Some distilleries will say, oh, you want between 4 and 10. Lagavulin is Mr. Consistency. And I said, is it between the went, no, it's 8%. I went, right, okay. So it's 8%. No in betweens for Lagavulin.
8 or nothing.
It's 8, that's it. The big thing here is they are wooden wash bags. Oregon pine, or to the Brits, Douglas fir. You ask anyone in production here, or anyone in a distillery that has stainless steel wash bags, does the wood affect the flavour? They'll all say no. Again, despite what some tours will tell you. I've done research, shouldn't affect the flavour. The wood is much better at keeping a nice even temperature. But of course the bacterial load will be higher. And your big disadvantage will only last about 16 years. These 6 have all been replaced fairly recently. Those 4 are 50 years old. They will be the next to go. Now those look different because they are different. Those are large wash bags. This is the first distillery I've seen with large wash bags, but they will be replaced with those. Now as you can see, you can't just take them out whole. You've got all this pipework. So they are dismantled, taken out, and a new one built up. Now, although people say that it doesn't affect the flavour, Diageo has a policy of not replacing wood with stainless steel. So maybe they do think it affects the flavour because they are not willing to mess with that tradition. 8% alcohol is not enough. We obviously need a bit more, and to do that we're going to have to distill it. Of course, we might have to wait until they're out of the still house. But there we go.
What's the capacity of one of these barrels?
So we'll take the whole of a mash, 21,000 litres, with a good bit to spare. Because I have yet to see, the foam can get really high. I've yet to see it actually needing to get cut. But that is why they have the blades on there. So I would have thought probably 30,000, not exactly sure.
The old tubs in there.
Yeah, you gotta get them all in. And you said you compared the wash to like a peach, or you
A
said
pear cider.
a pear, yeah.
Yeah,
Cider,
a
yeah.
fruity cider.
I never thought about it, but we were at another tour. They let us try some of the wash, and I couldn't describe it, but that's a very good way of describing it.
I think it tasted a bit like a fruity cider.
Yeah.
Yeah, very like fruity and yeasty and
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, breathe that in.
Oh yeah.
And then
Wow.
it's magic.
Ah.
The magic mat.
Yeah. It looks like some A-list celebrity bit there.
I know, right?
Which of course you are. So every drop through here, they're not big, are they? They're not enormous. We do make 3.25 million litres a year. Again, that's not big, really. On Islay, our sister distillery, Kalila, is the biggest, 6.5 million. These are completely dwarfed by the giants of malt, the Glenfiddich and Glenlivet, and they make 21 million litres each.
Wow.
They are enormous. So we're just 3.25, but there is a shortage of Lagavulin, and we do work 24 hours a day. We would work, if they didn't have to shut down for silent season for maintenance, they would work 365 days. The wash stills, as you can see, have windows. It's a lot more volatile, the wash going in, so it does foam up. I remember it, I came in and it was at the lower window, and I'm over going, oh, it's foaming up, and they're now calm down. When it gets to the top one, we have to worry.
You can see the foam in the little windows.
That is why the windows are there.
Yeah.
That is why the windows are there. And that's why you don't need them on a spirit still, because it's a lot less volatile.
Yeah.
But yes, and he says, yes, sometimes the wash is more reactive than others. Sometimes it will boil up. So this still was actually replaced in the first week in November just last year. And what's even more cool, they were made by Diageo. Okay? Remember, we're the biggest player in Scotch whisky. The 28 malt distilleries and 2 grain distilleries. We have our own coppersmiths department. So in this part, they did take off the roof. You can still see the cut marks where they had to cut the beam to get it off. They had a huge crane out in this tiny yard, took it off in parts, put the new one in, and that was it, which is just, I think, so cool. I think the craftsmanship that goes into coppersmithing is amazing.
They're beautiful.
We take the whole of one wash back, 21,000 litres, we split it between the 2 stills. Inside are coils and pans, which is the steam, boils it up. Goes over the swan's neck and down the line arm. You'll notice steeply sloping line arm on the wash still. Goes into the cylinder, which is a shell and tube condenser. The vapour is forced through a copper tube, which is surrounded by a stainless steel shell. Between the 2, cold water condenses it back into liquid. Now the liquid coming back in is called low wine, and it is 25% alcohol. Now Kalila, our sister distillery, also peaks to 36 parts per million, but they have big, tall stills. And in a tall still, you get a process called reflux. So as it evaporates, it hits the sides of the still, comes back down again. Now that can happen several times, and it gives a much lighter spirit. Well, that ain't Lagavulin, right? So we have our short, wide stills. We want as little reflux as possible. That gives Lagavulin the oily mouthfeel and the pungent flavours that you shouldn't really be getting at your malt at 36 parts per million. Some distilleries have a straight line arm, or it even goes up the way, or it sometimes even it has a U-bend in it. This will all to encourage the vapour to go back down. We don't want that. As soon as they are down there, we're having them. We don't want it to be going back down. So that's why we have that on the wash still. Now the second part is that we take it slow and steady. We are nearly 10 hours in the spirit still. Now that is the longest distillation on Islay, one of the longest in Scotland. So we've got short fermentation, long distillation. And that, together with the shape of the still, gives Lagavulin its character. Okay. Any more questions about distillation?
I hope there's not an exam at the end of this. A lot to remember.
Yeah.
I know. Someone said, oh, so what's that little bit sticking out? And I knew they'd asked me just to try and trick me, and I went, oh, that's the pressure release bit, and it's to stop them imploding. Okay? So, some parts of a still will only last about 20 years, especially the base. That's where the heat's concentrated, but also the neck bit that comes, because the hot is rising, so that can get very thin as well. But they are, in silent season, they come and they test the thickness of all the copper. Okay. Right, let's go down to the bay and see if there's anything interesting there.
Oh, wow.
Now, unfortunately, we can't get onto the pier. You will see we can get close to the bit. We've had damage to the sea wall here. You'll see where it's eaten away. You can see a seal out on that rock there. Can you see?
Oh, look at that.
Seal.
Yeah.
Oh, there's quite a lot of seals out on those rocks there.
Oh, look at them.
Oh yeah.
In fact, it's absolutely, once you get your eye in, it's absolutely thick with seals
with-
out there. Every bit of rock has a seal on it.
That's incredible.
This pier would have been how we got goods in and out. But of course, it's no good for modern shipping. That was when they would use the puffers, which were small ships, which did a lot of the transport up and down the west coast of Scotland. And that's, of course, why they needed the big Lagavulin site, so they knew which distillery they were coming to. Now it's just tradition that Islay distilleries have these, whether they're beside the coast or not. And so, yay, big bumblebee. It just makes a good Instagram thing now. Your best views for that is over there. You can park it up at the big white house, and you can come down here. So this is Lagavulin Bay. The castle you can see is the ruins of Dunuvig Castle in Gaelic. That means Fort of the Galleys. And that is before Scotland was a united country. The whole of the west coast, parts of Northern Ireland, the Isle of Man, they were all ruled by the Lords of the Isles. Okay, you can go and visit the Finlagan island where some of them are buried, etc. And they had Viking ancestry. And so, because of this sort of line of rocks in Lagavulin Bay, it's much calmer than the open sea. So they used Lagavulin Bay to anchor their war fleet in. And the boats are called beerling, and they would have looked like small longships. Okay, so they could have been all in here. It's actually, especially at low tides, very shallow in here. I was sitting having my lunch along here. You can see where the damage from the storm damage has been. I was sitting having my lunch last summer, and a yacht came in, and as it was going out, crunch.
Oh no.
There was a lot of swearing, but they were fine. They seemed to manage to get off quite well. But absolutely beautiful.
So when I went to visit Ireland, last year I think, we were on the very northern coast of it. And I remember looking out and seeing Islay and being like, no, so close but so far.
It's right there.
And that's this is where
and this
I
is
was
the other
looking
side.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. You know what? It's funny, but man, that's so sad too.
I know. Yeah.
It's like
So far away.
so far away.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Just such a cool room.
This is like
Yeah.
Okay.
very cool.
Lovely. So we've got 6 glasses. I won't say 6 jams because they are not all equal. You've got a little souvenir glass to take away. You've got water for drinking. You've got water for adding. I am dreadfully suggestible, and if someone said, "Oh, can you taste the watermelon in there?" I'd be going, "Oh yes." So if you can smell or taste it, then it's wrong. So off you go, and you will get a good old smell of. Oh, yes. Well, that's Lagavulin.
Wow.
That is Lagavulin.
Whoa. That's such a fascinating smell.
That's a good cologne.
Yeah, right?
And some people have been known to just go like that. And now you are welcome to taste it. Okay. Now it is 69.7% ABV. It was extracted on the 14th of March this year. So it's going to have a lot of burn, but you will actually find it more palatable than you think.
Yeah.
So I know some people just knock it back, and then maybe add a couple of drops of water, cut that alcohol, and you'll get more of the flavours. It's really drinkable. Really.
That's very good.
At that ridiculous ABV.
Wow.
And that, we only make one spirit. that is going into every single cask. So all the variation you're going to get now is from the cask, which is amazing.
Whoa.
We don't do any special Islay barley runs or anything like that.
That's so fascinating. Wow. That is such an incredible new make.
Lovely.
Wow. Pretty cool.
Okay, we are going to go from the ridiculous to the sublime now. And your next one is our 26-year-old.
All right.
Okay. So,
Starting at the left.
Yes.
we're just going to work our way around, David.
Darkest to lightest.
Yes, it is actually darkest to lightest.
Yeah.
So you could probably tell that this is some sort of sherry that's in here. And it is, in fact, first fill Pedro Jimenez and refill Oloroso.
Oh,
Okay.
getting all the sherry.
But
Yeah.
it is an absolute sherry bomb. Now, this, as I said, from 69.7, this is only 44.5% ABV.
Interesting.
Now, I know that natural cask strength, it will lose a little every year. However, that sort of loss is not usual. If we look at our other premium bottle, the 25-year-old on the left there, that is only a year younger. That's 51 ABV. So what has happened to this
In a short period of time.
in a short period of time? Is it that some of the casks were a bit older? Is it where it was stored? Something has happened to these casks that made this to make that so low in alcohol. But then again, I think that is also the mystery of the wood. It is a natural product and you can't guarantee anything with these. And so first fill Pedro Jimenez. Pedro Jimenez, of course, is a sherry. It's the sweetest sherry.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
My wife's favorite.
It's my favourite too. I love it. So
There's like sugary sweetness on the nose. It's so.
you can go from a Fino sherry, 5 grams of sugar per litre. Now Pedro Jimenez will have well over 200 grams of sugar per litre. Why is it so sweet? Well, the Pedro Jimenez grape is sweet, but they oxidise the grapes before they ferment them. They make them into raisins. Okay, and hence why Pedro Jimenez tastes like liquidised raisins. And even better, alcoholic liquidised raisins. I mean, if you don't just love sipping away on it, pour it over some ice cream. But I know some of my colleagues think it's too sweet, and I'm going, there's no such thing. It's delicious. It's supposed to be like that.
I put it in ice cream.
Yeah.
It is like syrup.
Yeah.
It is like syrup. I think it's just a little. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Our other premium bottles, while we're at it, the 25-year-old is around that as well. The other one is the one in the middle. Okay, that's our 29-year-old. That is just shy of 3,000. Okay, but that is your investment bottle. There are only 241 bottles ever of that one, all hand filled by the distillery manager. I don't know whether that decreases the value or not. There are, I think, 2 left in Princess Street in Edinburgh, and we have 6.
Wow.
And that is it. It was released for the Whisky Festival last year, so 24th of May. They might last till then, but I'm not sure. Because once you get to a critical number, then people are going, oh, I've got to get it then. So. But that's your investment bottle. The next one we're going to go on to, I think, is just perfection, this next one. It's my favourite. And I think they've just got everything right about this one, so let's have a look at it. This is 14 years old. It's 10 years in first fill bourbon. We don't do that often because first fill bourbon is sweet and tends to actually be a bit overpowering for Lagavulin. So, it was 10 years in first fill bourbon. They obviously took fright and thought, oh, it's getting a bit sweet. Took it out, 4 years in an oak puncheon, an exhausted sherry cask. And then just over 3 months in South African Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ooh.
This is Lagavulin's first red wine release.
Interesting.
It is lovely. You have got the sweet from the bourbon, the smoke from the Lagavulin, and a long, winey finish. Quite dry, but it's just lovely.
You really get that wine in the nose.
And you think, 3 months.
Like, really.
What difference is it? Oh
Makes a
my.
difference.
Oh my gosh.
Get that cab off.
Yeah,
You definitely do.
you
It's so
really do.
it's like the forefront too.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's 10 years in bourbon, and then what's the other 3?
4 years in an oak punch.
Oh, in oak. Okay, got it. And then
just,
the red wine finish, yeah.
That's just an exhausted sherry cask.
Yeah.
They obviously thought it was getting a bit too sweet and they thought, we'll just let it settle down a wee bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Into lovely.
Let's see what you,
Now that is stronger. Now that's 56.1% ABV. I wouldn't be tempted to water that down. I just think the taste of it's
No,
just
that is-
so nice.
it's got that bite, but then that sweet aftertaste. You even said it's dry, and
Quite
you
a
get
dry
that.
finish, yeah.
But it keeps going. It just
Keeps going.
that is incredible.
Great,
Wow.
isn't it?
Damn.
Yeah, and super smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
that
sweet.
is-
I think it's so well balanced, this one.
Oh yeah.
Even better news. Now, it is still a considered purchase. It's £240 a bottle. Okay? However, they only made 1,500 of them. Okay? Now, previous jazz editions, they made 3,000, so there's half the amount. So, some people have been coming in and buying 6, and you know, fine, they're just going to keep them all because they think they might go up in price. Other people, the ones that really like it, are buying 2. One for drinking, one for keeping, and they know that, say it doesn't go up in price, still got something wonderful to drink.
Absolutely. You're taking
Yeah,
notes, right?
a lot of people, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Getting
I'm probably
quotations
walking out with this bottle.
in the making.
Yeah.
So, this is a compare and contrast, because our next one is also a jazz. Okay? But it's from the year before this, so it's 2023. It's a year old and it's 15. So this has been 11 years in bourbon and then 4 years in Oloroso. Okay? So that's kind of yours. Possibly the most common sweet sherry to be used in Scotch whisky. So this one is sweeter. Now, a few people prefer it over the wine one, but for me, yes, it's lovely. It's a lovely drink, but it hasn't got the uniqueness and the combination of flavours that that one has. But tell me what you think of this one. So this is just Oloroso, and it's less strong. It's 53.9% ABV. And now we had some maturation training with one of the people in Diageo, and my question, which I have never been able to find the answer to, is when does a finish become a maturation? So this one in the description actually says finished for 4 years. Now I'm going 4 years, that's a maturation, surely. So at what point does a finish become a maturation? Or maybe they are all strictly maturations. Or is it just...
But 3 months.
3 months,
Cabernet,
that's surely that's just a finish.
That's a finish.
That's not a maturation. Who knows?
The sherry certainly comes through in the nose here.
Yeah. Wow. Now, would you recommend water for this one?
As I said, I'm recommending nothing.
Fair. Got it.
You want to add, you add.
Okay.
Try it with some water. Just a bit.
I did a drop and it it's good. I noticed more change on the nose with the water.
Do you guys do the separate nostrils at all?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually go left to right, right to left, and
Uh-huh.
I don't know why. I feel like it just works better for me and it balances. So
Because I have,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't know if there's a
Same,
technique.
just-
Yeah, I usually just kind of around and
yeah.
but don't know why I picked it up. It just kind of felt
And of course there's the, agitate it a bit.
yeah.
I'm going to make you work for the next one. I want you to tell me for this next one, what is different about it? Different from anything that you have tasted so far, or any other Lagavulin you have tasted. Okay, it is just bourbon, and it's 10 years old. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. It's a challenge. It's very light.
I noticed that immediately. The color on it is so much lighter.
It is the youngest, obviously.
Yeah.
It's 10 years old and just bourbon.
Wow.
And probably refill bourbon. We're very keen on refill bourbon.
Taste-wise, it's hard to say. I will say that the finish is not as long.
Okay?
Is immediately what I'm shorter finish.
Shorter finish. And of course, it's made harder by your palate's absolutely short by now.
Oh yeah, probably a little bit. A little
Yeah.
bit.
I don't think it's nearly as peaty. And the finish is short.
Short finish, yeah.
Less peat, maybe?
I almost get more of a, and I mean it would make sense because it's younger. I almost get that, almost a new make finish, a little bit more like a.
I feel like there is a stronger bite to it, but I feel like it's misleading. Like I don't think that the alcohol content is actually higher. I think it's just like a
No,
stronger
it's
bite.
not substantially higher. It
Yeah.
may be 1 or 2%. Certainly from that Oloroso one. Okay,
Maybe quite light,
I'm going to tell you. You are completely wrong. It's actually more heavily peated.
Really?
The most common thing is for people to say, is there less peat in that? It's
Yeah.
the most common. Or is it sweeter? And it is often partners, wives, who have been brought along to this tasting. They don't really drink whiskey very much. You go, oh my God, that's really peaty. But people who are used to it often can't detect it. So, as I said, we're 36 parts per million. But 11 years ago, they did a run at 55.
And is that what this is?
This is the 50.
That is 55 parts per million. So it's a heavily peated. And it was released
Wow.
for our festival bottle last year. Yeah.
And
Again,
I'm not getting that at all.
I
No,
know,
I'm not either.
Because it is still the uniquely sweet, fruity Lagavulin. Yeah.
It's so-
But yeah, it is. This should be much more of the punch of Lafroig or Ardbeg, but because we make it differently, it doesn't. But it's really, really nice.
Very nice.
That's so fascinating.
And again, this is this one. So again, it's unique. And this one is again limited. So there was only, I think, 1,800 bottles of that made. And again, that has been very, very popular. So that's your heavily peated.
Wow.
And you would never know.
No,
You
it's like
never know.
I'm working to try and like I can't. That's incredible.
Yeah. Now you've got one left. And for this one, I would like you to tell me how old you think it is. Again, it's just bourbon.
Just bourbon.
Really?
Just bourbon.
I'm gonna say it's younger than the last one we just did.
Okay.
I don't know how much younger.
Less than 10.
Okay, yeah. My guess is less than 10. I'd say probably like between 6 and 8.
And it's just bourbon.
Just bourbon.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it on the nose, but that richness, it's a lot more lighter and a lot more.
Yep.
It's got that zing to it that I can't explain what I'm smelling. I don't want to say new make, but it's something there.
What about yourself?
Man, I really don't know. It's like,
I'm deceived.
yeah, I feel like, man, I really don't know, because I feel like it definitely could be younger, but it does have like, there's still complexity to it. Like,
Yeah.
it still has like,
It's nice.
you know.
Right, so this time, you're bang on the money. We'll split it differently. It's exactly 7 years old. So
Okay.
between 6 and 8, absolutely.
All right.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
I know something.
Well done.
Brownie points.
So
Took
this.
6 glasses for you to get.
Oh my gosh. It took my head starting to go a little bit to
I'm
nail that
glad
one.
you're enjoying it because
Yeah.
this is what you're taking away with you.
Oh.
Okay. So our last part of the experience is to fill your own bottle.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay. So you come up here, and please do this at your leisure.
It has a shorter finish, but that initial, like, first sip is so complex, like you were saying. There's so many layers to it.
We've been getting really good reviews about this cask.
Yeah.
Although it's young, people are really enjoying it, and a lot of people are actually guessing about 12 years.
Really?
This
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And so you're doing incredibly well. The last one we had was 9 years, and some people say, "Oh, I think that's about 3," and you're going,
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
It wasn't as popular, but people have been
Yeah.
really liking this
Yeah.
7-year-old here.
Yeah, it's really wild, like how much flavor you can pack into like a really short
Yep.
amount of time. That's why we're always kind of blown away at Bricklotti's like ability with their Octomore lines
Yeah.
and everything. Just like 5 years, just pack it full, and like it's
amazing,
on display
isn't
here
it?
too. Of just
Yeah.
like you really don't need like, you know,
You don't
20, 30 years to like round out, you know.
Age statements are nice, but sometimes they're a number.
Yeah.
And then you try something and you realize, okay, well, the $300 bottle is good, but I'm getting something more enjoyable at 90.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it about status more than anything?
Yeah.
Partially.
These very old whiskies, are they 100 times better than the other one? I don't think so.
Yeah, because I think
No.
I probably enjoyed the 29. Probably, it's just a different experience, but I wouldn't say it was any better than
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
ones. You know,
Yeah.
do this here.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Block it by the thing. Man, this is so sick.
And it will all fit in. Although one woman last week just sort of shoved it all in really quickly and it all spilled out, and she said, "Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry." You're fine. It's only 7-year-old. We'll be okay. And of course, when we go up to the shop, if there is anything else that you want to taste, absolutely. You might be interested, guys, in the Distillery exclusive. Okay, £125, and it is only available in the shop.
Oh, yes.
So you are never going to get that anywhere else. The other really nice thing about it, it was chosen by the staff in a blind tasting.
Really?
Good to know.
Before my time, but in the next few months we will be getting our samples to choose the next one, which I will have invested in. So I'll have what they call it, skin in the game or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Surely I don't mess this up. Surely.
Just don't put it under the bottom one, right?
Yeah, I'll do the bottom one just for fun. No.
Okay.
So is your wife with you?
She is.
Lovely.
Yeah, and I'm walking up to Ardbeg
Great.
and we'll
Meeting
do
her for lunch?
meeting her for lunch and then tour there. She does the tours
That's what you
and
say.
drink the whiskey. Which is fun. But yeah, it's a fascinating process.
That's so cool.
recommend, have you been to the American Monument?
I've seen pictures of it.
So atmospheric.
Yeah.
Obviously commemorates the sinking of the
It's like foaming. What?
That's so cool.
That's sick.
American, and it was the monument was paid for by the American Red Cross rather than the government.
Oh.
So it's in the Oak, which is
That's so cool.
So it sort of sticks out past Port Ellen. You can drive up, and then there's a walk up to it. It's right on the cliffs. Yeah. So again, that may be something that.
Where does this one go? Down on the back? Yeah.
Which one?
The bottom one for the back.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really, really moving.
Yeah, that one goes under, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's torpedoed. And a lot of them are washed up against the Owen. There's big cliffs and they. So huge.
God, this is so cool.
And
This is so cool.
For the funerals, the women that worked at Islay House, which was the big estate house there, they overnight soldiered Sergeant Strang's.
Boom.
Then you got the red
And
strip
that
as
was
well.
expected to
Where?
Smithsonian, but,
Oh.
the
It goes like across the top.
Yeah.
the Smithsonian gave it back to the museum. It's not lovely.
Where else would you go?
Definitely to Finlaggan.
Oh, really? Up to Finlaggan?
Just like that.
I would go there.
That's so cool.
It's a short visit. It's
Really cool.
Sick.
Dude. All right, you're next.
Let's go.
They've got a nice cafe as well. They've got the
For
best
the
home,
non-drinkers to sit in.
the best home baking on Islay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
really lovely. Completely different.
Distilled in 2016.
That's what I would. It's probably what I would do. Bruichladdich, wonderful, and then of course they make the best gin in the world.
Yeah.
Love my botanist gin.
Yeah, I was surprised when we went to Bruichladdich. They had a very, during the tour, they had a very, strong emphasis on their whole gin line. And they were even saying that they had a Super Bowl commercial, apparently in 23, which I was unaware of.
I didn't. Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
that.
I completely
Yeah.
missed
I
that.
think gin probably saved Bruichladdich.
Really?
You know,
Yeah.
it's gotten through a few tough times in the early days.
No pressure.
I know, right?
But it just, I mean, my sisters were climbing
Oh,
in
dude,
the
this is so
Dolomites,
cool.
It's so cool.
and they went to Venice for a weekend afterwards. And they said we were down a small side street having a drink, and this couple
You nailed it.
next table
Right at
holding
200.
up gin and tonic. What would the waiter recommend? And the waiter came out with a bottle of Lawrence. He said, "Well, this is," and she said, "in a side street in Venice." And we went, "That's where we come from."
I mean, I think it's world renowned.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
And it's the gin. And there's a whole generation
Nice.
here
Perfect.
that are rediscovering gin, actually. And I'm not sure if it's,
A bit more past peak gin.
All right.
are we? And it's because of that singular
Cork.
distillery, because even where I come from, a whole bunch of gin distilleries popped up.
But a lot of the distillers
look it up.
don't actually make the gin. They do it with Bruichladdich, but a lot of them just get neutral grain spirit, vodka,
And do their botanicals.
and put the botanicals
All
in.
right. Nice. Nice and even.
Some of them don't actually make the gin. They don't distill.
I don't know the last time that I focused this hard on making something look even.
Right.
Maybe a rum might be.
I didn't get super low on mine, but
And it's a rum distiller.
Nice.
Yes, there is.
Dude, just seeing your name on the
on,
bottled by.
on a Lagavulin bottle.
That's just so sick.
Building, so we sort of art deco, 1930s. That's where they made lemonade. That's the
They
old living
just like right above it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, lovely. So that's the old lemonade factory.
All right, nice.
Look at this bad boy. Cherry on top, man.
I'm not.
So it's just right across the middle.
My dad was a gatekeeper on Dorset estate, and then
Hold on.
went
Do
to university.
you want to flip it sideways?
Doctorate,
Well, it looks like it's.
came back.
You want to have it like.
Switched
Oh, I did mine the other way, yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking idiot. Alright, dude.
But yes, people say, are you a native? I'm not a native, because I wasn't born here. Oh, just about us.
Oh, a little uneven, but doesn't matter. No, here, we'll make it right. It's got personality. Well, she ain't perfect, but she'll do. It's so sick. Oh man, it's
So
awesome.
cool. Awesome.
Getting the whole process recorded there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just awesome.
Little added memory.
But yeah, so we got this really like super cool experience at Lagavulin, which is fucking awesome. I mean, it was just a fun time. It was really good. It was a private tour. We only had 3 people. It was me, Chandler, and David, and we had our tour guide that I'm drawing a blank for $150. It was beyond a steal. It was a really good deal, and I would do it all over again. Really, just a fun, cool experience. But they hooked us up with these pours. Very fun experience.
Once in a lifetime experience. I say that, but I will be back here at some point. I just, considering the lack of population on the island, the natural beauty of the place is just something else.